welcome back to Miller Meadows with Roger and Lori. We are actually working with our rabbits today, and I thought I would just take you along on what we're doing this afternoon. We have removed the cages from their holding stand, and we are pressure washing the cages, which is just regular maintenance that we all need to do. We need to get the cages all clean and washed up occasionally. So we're just pressure washing the cages today, first of all. And getting them all freshened up. So while Josh is busy on that, um, the rabbit that cage belongs to is our little Linda here. Well, she's not so little. We have Flemish Giants, and so she gets some time on the ground in just a little makeshift play area kind of for the rabbits. So we can just put them on the ground and let them do a little bit of foraging while we take care of the cages. We've already got today's project completed here for Guinevere. This is Guinevere, and Guinevere and Linda are both very, very pregnant. And so we needed to build kindling boxes because they're getting very close to delivering their kits. And so we just thought that we would take you along on how we are building our kindling boxes today. So I'm going to take you over here where Roger's working, and I'm just going to kind of, I guess, hand it over to him and he can walk you through what he's doing.
Basically, we just got some plywood. Actually, it's not plywood, it's particle board from Menards that we need to make a square box with the top, the bottom, the side, the back, and there's a little scrape off bar, as you saw in Guinevere's cage, for scraping off the little ones. And if this would be the front, which it's going to be, basically the scrape off bar goes in the front here, and as she comes out, she'll scrape off the kits into the box so they don't get out on the cage, because if they do get out on the cage, they can actually freeze and get sick and die. So we want them to stay in here, and mom needs time alone without kids once in a while.
Amen.
So that way she can go out and get her food and get her water that she wants, and she can go back in whenever she wants to, but she can check in on them because it's real close. She can check in on them periodically to make sure they're okay and make sure they're covered. Predators can't get to them in our cages, so they're pretty safe in there, but it's the cold temperature. Even though it's summer, nighttime cold with kits can kind of kill them, and we don't want that to happen. So when we get done with them, we put them in the cage, and then we put some grass that we have already cut, tall grass, and we give that to her, and she's able to stuff it and put it where she wants and make her own bed. We can't make it for her. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm putting the screws together now. Anybody who's worked with particle board knows that you don't just stick a drill through it, because if you do, you'll get a split. Okay, so here's an example. If I were to take this, drop my drill.
Nice snag.
Thank you. And say I was just going to drill this into the wood without putting a pilot hole, is what they called. See what happens? I barely went into it, and it's splitting it. There is no margin for give when it comes to this particle board. It just breaks away. Even if you put it in the center, it'll split. Put it off the side or whatever. You can't see sometimes where you're coming in with the screw when you go to put it in. It's a blind hit. So I'm going to drill one hole approximately the length of the screw, and I went down far enough that there's going to be about that much that isn't have a hole, and it's going to lock into that, but the bit's also smaller than the threads on the shaft of the screw. That way it won't split it out. and the threads will dig in, but it won't damage the wood. So when I go to drill into it, she's tight, but she's not split. Throw one more in. And there's gonna times even I've done it. You split the wood. Your best thing is don't even try to fix it. Go for a different spot on the board, drill a new hole, and do your best to do that. Now, all drills, I can't say all, most screw guns drills have ratchet assemblies on them. So when you get far enough and you don't want it to go too far, your ratchets. I have mine set for what is good for this wood, which is right there, which is in between 5 and 6, somewhere in that range. That way it pushes it down enough, but it doesn't try to split the wood, it doesn't fight. Put another one in here.
So particularly with this particle board, it's really important to pilot full.
Yes, it's very important. Even plywood. I mean, if you're going to be drilling into plywood that's real thin, and like us, we're going into the side of it. We're not going in. We're doing a quick throw together birthing box, basically, for the rabbits. We don't have a lot of time on the farm, so it has to be quick, but it has to be strong. And even if you're doing plywood, you definitely want a pilot hole, because when you go into the side of it, there's not a lot of material there. No matter what, there's not a lot of material. If you're going in the middle like this and you're sandwiching two together, not a big deal. You don't even have to pilot drill, because it's just going to go through it. But it's always best when you're trying to go into the ends like this that you do a pilot drill, just to make sure that you don't split your wood out. Now I've got this one to do here. And some of this wood that you get from the stores aren't really the best. This is some scrap wood that Menards has. It's actually shelving material that they have on sale. It's pieces that weren't no good. They couldn't use them for anything. You can't sell them. So they put them on the end caps and they go $1.50 a board. Well, we got 6 of them at $1.50. It's not that bad a price.
It's very economical. It's the cheapest way to do it. And no, these kindling boxes are not gonna last forever.
No.
Just due to the type of wood that we are using, but they're going to do the job, and they'll only be in the cages probably at most for 3 weeks. So Mama Rabbit, she's probably gonna chew on this a little bit. But
that's the key thing. If you're gonna make something with really nice wood, be prepared for her to chew on it.
Yep.
She will chew and gnaw and nip at it, and she'll make holes.
Yep.
That's why it's best to go with something that you can just remake the next year with cheap enough wood that you can go ahead and use. Because once there's a hole in it, it's a done deal. I mean, and she knows right where to chew. And I'm using screws and not nails because of the fact that she does chew. And when she goes to pull on it, we don't want her pulling it out and getting a nail somewhere in her body or getting poked by something like that. We want to make sure that there's no screws exposed too. Another reason why you don't want to risk splitting the wood. But the particle boards are usually, they're pretty inexpensive, and if you know how to work with them and know exactly how to drill them out and how to put the screws in, you can actually get a real cheap box made out pretty quick. Another one right there. And once you do it enough, as you can see, I really don't measure where the screw's going in at. I've done this enough that I know how to find this find the center of the board without measuring.
You eyeball it?
Yeah, basically. I mean, you could see in there. There's no splits, no screws.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful.
Then,
and no screws poking through to hurt the kits
Nope.
either. So
then we want to put the back on. And we had some really awkward boards, which I might have to shave this one just a little bit. Yeah, it's going to work this way, but it's not going to work the other way. Some of these,
maybe try this other end.
well, this is the back end here. I tried to put, because this is a shelf,
Okay.
I had to go with short ones. And I'd rather have the short ones where she's not going to mess around with them than to have them up here where she can grab a hold of them.
Oh,
and it's
and
only
start
2
screws.
screws.
Working on them. That's
Where
brilliant.
This one has 3 screws holding it. It's a bigger piece. It's going to be harder for her to mess around with. I just have to shave this thing. Is all I got to do, and then I can put it in. Unless, let's see if we're going that way. We tried to make these as tight as possible without jeopardizing the actual wood. But shave off the edge here. Fell down.
Here, you want me to help hold?
Here we go. Just need a little off. That should fit.
Beautiful.
Well, not quite, but
It's not going all the way in?
it's close. Yep, nice snug fit.
And you can see how we brainstorm things. We just write our ideas down on the wood.
Yep, and then you lose your measurements. You go, well, I wrote it on a piece of wood somewhere, and then you're going, oh, okay, there it is. Yeah, the measurements are. Done that a few times too. It's paper eventually. Someday it would have been. This one ended up being a piece of wood, but here we go. Screws in it. Put another one here. Yeah. There. There. And no, these are not weather screws. They are actually sheetrock screws. So it's what we had left over from doing a project. And again, this isn't supposed to last forever. It's only supposed to last long enough to at least accommodate the rabbits. So there's probably some smart guys out there going, wait a minute, those aren't weather treated screws. No, they're not. You're right. They're just cheap old sheetrock screws.
But our rabbit structure over there obviously has a roof on it also, and so hopefully it'll, protect from moisture enough.
Yep.
And like I said, these kindling boxes are only going to be in use for approximately 3 weeks, and then the kits are going to be big enough to be able to be on the wire and not get too cold. So they're not a long-term use item.
Nope, just long enough for the babes to be born. I suppose I should throw a screw in that before I flip it, huh?
Yeah.
One screw on this side because we got 3. Everywhere else, got this. There we go. And then the front, which is what we call the door. You even wrote it on there. Look at that. Now we're going to lose the door. I wonder what happened to the door.
So yeah, like Roger said, the reason why we put this scrape-off board is because when Mom goes into the box to nurse the kits a lot of times will just continue suckling after Mom's, ready to be done with nursing them, and she'll hop out of the box, and the kits are still attached to her teats, and so this scrape-off board just kind of prevents the kits from being pulled out onto the wire along with Mom.
Yep. It helps her get away.
And it helps keeps the babies in the box.
Yep. And I like to pull him up a little bit. Gap on that side. Not perfect.
Well, we're looking for function, not perfection.
I don't think she's going to care either way.
No. Mama Rabbit is not going to care.
She's probably going to be more mad that she had to go endure everything she's got to endure.
You think?
Well, what do you think?
Well, I think right now they're a little angry because they're very, very pregnant and feeling a little warm. But,
well, that's the nice thing about having them in that thing over there. They're off the ground and the air is underneath them.
Yeah. Yeah, that is actually a really nice thing about the way that we structured this. They get air from all sides. So that really helps in the warm summer months.
Bit of a gap there, but hold on. Can't really put a screw in with a drill bit, can you?
No. Nice job, babe.
It's not my best work, but it works. It's functional. It will accommodate the mama. Here it is. And it should, if we go over there, if I measured it correctly, it should just slide right in the door.
All right. So we'll head on back over where we have our freshly cleaned cage.
And this is live, so if it's off, she can harass me right on camera.
Gotta figure out which end is which, huh? Yeah, look at that. Slid right in. Beautiful.
Should do her.
Yeah. Yeah, that works really, really good. Nice job. Nice job. Anyway, so I guess that is our kindling boxes for this season. Roger did a great job. He always does a great job. Joshua did a great job pressure washing the cages for us today. So we appreciate him so much too. And I think we're going to have some really happy mama rabbits.
Yeah, Linda,
right, Linda?
You did a great job.
Yeah, Linda, you did a good job too. You look like you have a lot of kits in there.
This rabbit hated her.
Yeah, Linda has not always been my friend. She growls and scratches at me, but she's gotten a little bit better now this second year with her.
She likes me.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody likes you.
At least the rabbit likes me.
Anyway, she looks like she's happy just laying in the grass a little bit today. Guinevere
Well,
had quite a while to lay in the grass too while we were working on her kindling box,
we're
so
gonna scoot her in her cage now.
she had a good day too.
She gets to stay out on the grass, but hey, you. Good morning. Ready? Go on in.
Oh, I don't want to go back in there.
We don't really want to lift them with them
Yeah,
expecting.
they're so very pregnant right now, so yeah, we don't want to pick them up underneath the belly at all.
When we get them out, we do the same thing. We put the cage on the ground and we
Oh, here, I got to get
scoot 'em
this.
out.
Yeah, Guinevere was already starting to chew on the box, and that's just typical rabbit.
And that's what we said. They will chew.
Checking out her new room there. That's a nice place to have your babies, Guinevere.
Actually, it's over here. Hey, you can see what we do when we go to clean them. We're gonna bring Copper, who is the male. He's feeling left out right now.
Yeah, he's pouting. Actually, I'll do a little walk around on this structure that Roger made. We had an old headboard and footboard, just a metal headboard and footboard that he constructed into this rabbit structure, and he put. And you can see, after winter, everything just needs to be pressure washed, and so that's why we're doing this today. But he built these wonderful rails just out of angle iron, and then made the cages with it's closet shelving is what he made these great cages. And because the Flemish Giants are big rabbits, we needed big cages to accommodate their size and give them enough living space to be comfortable and happy and healthy. And so he made those tracks, and as you can see, he just pulled it right out, and he's got this support bar system that comes out and supports that big long cage, and then you can slide the whole structure right back in and get the rabbits back underneath this roof here on top. So talk about a genius reuse of products. This guy is pretty smart, I'll tell you. And it's very handy. And on these cages, you can see they're just so easy. He put these wonderful spring latches so that they're even easy for me to function them. You just take and you pull them with your finger, and then you drop down this side so that you can access and work with your rabbit. Copper is my buddy. Yeah. We're going to get your cage all cleaned up here today, buddy. Yeah, such a beautiful boy. He's a really good buck. So then, you just go ahead and close that door again and pull these spring latches.
He's gonna carry.
Oh, he's going to carry the actual rabbit?
Yeah.
Okay. That's fine.
Hey, boy.
He's not expecting.
No. So now Copper will get some time on in that little area on the grass so that Joshua can get the cage pressure washed for him. So that's our project for today. So now Copper gets some playtime on the ground, and we'll get his cage all cleaned up. The girls look really happy and comfortable. Roger did a great job on designing these kindling boxes. I'm very pleased. We'll still get the whole structure, the rabbit structure over there.
That gets pressure washed.
Gets pressure washed up yet too.
Yeah. Rabbits are messy.
They are.
How you think about
Yep.
it. And that cage is what these look like, and you can see once you
Yeah.
pressure wash them.
Once you pressure wash them, they clean right up.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can see, because in the wintertime, when we're around, we're always under freezing during the wintertime. There's just really no way of washing them up until spring again. So there's a lot of hair and potty stuff kind of builds up, but they clean up really good. These
Well, they have powder coating on the shelving. They made that so they're durable.
Right.
So that powder coating actually holds up to the pee in the urine, which is surprising.
Yeah.
And then the pressure washer is able just to, you can see the top of it now. It just knocks it right off.
Yep.
It takes a little bit to wash some of the heavier stuff off, but once you get it, it's done.
Yep. It works really good. It's a good system. You created a good system there for the rabbits. Works really well. So anyway, all right. Well, thank you for joining us again today and spending your time with us. And
thanks for watching us.
Yeah, absolutely. God bless you all, and we'll see you again soon.
See ya.
Hey, Mama. So our rabbits delivered their kits, and you can see she just did amazing at pulling hair. You're a good mama, Guinevere. Hey, honey, I know. You got that whole mommy instinct going on. All right. You're just going to growl at me. And let's see. Can you kind of watch her? Because she'll scratch me. I'm going to just move the nesting box a little to the side here. You can see little buns in there. Let's see if I can open it up a little. How many babies we got? Well, I don't want to dig around too much. Little popcorn babies. Oh, she did amazing. Look at all that fur. Oh, she just did awesome. All right, we're going to tuck them back in, Mama. Yep, cover them back up. She did great. Good job, Guinevere. Yeah, good job, honey. You're a good mama. So the kindling boxes worked really good. So here's Linda. And she did an amazing job too. She doesn't want to let me see how many babies she has. Look at her looking at me. Like, no, lady, you ain't going to see how many babies I got in here. Come on out, Linda. Nope. She's like, nope, I got babies and I'm going to protect them. You're a good mama. Yeah, you did a good job, Mama. Yeah, you did a good job.
And she's really protective. I don't know if you can see underneath.
I don't know if I can get in there with the camera. I see some pink back there, but I wish she'd come out so we could just see.
There, now you can see them.
Yep. Oh, look at the babies. They're like, hey, Mom, if you're going to be in here, we're going to eat. Oh, Linda, you did good too. She doesn't have quite as much fur pulled, but she still did really good nesting.
There's a lot of fur in there.
And she's very, very protective of those babes. So she's a good mama too. Looking good. All right, so here we are at 5 weeks of age with these bunnies. And we're obviously starting to run low on space inside of the cage. Flemish Giants are large rabbits. And these cages, Roger designed them to just hold a single. No, she's getting a little mad because we're upsetting her. But these cages, Roger designed to just hold a single Flemish Giant adult. And so with these babies getting rather large now, we need to move them into a larger space. So we have a grow out cage that we're going to be moving the bunnies into tonight. Mama and babies need to be together for 12 weeks. So we can't separate the bunnies from the moms until the babies are 12 weeks old. And like I said, we're only at 5 weeks at this point in time. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to move both moms and babies into separate areas over there where they have a little bit more room to move around and everybody can lay down comfortably and maybe run around even a little bit and expend a little bit of energy. So we'll just get to moving people right now and get them into their new space for the next few weeks. And Joshua's going to try to get a hold of Guinevere and get her moved first.
Come here, mamas. Good girl. Good girl. Come on. Come on.
Gwen, get her right underneath her bottom.
I'm trying, Mom. Not as easy as you think.
I know it's not.
It's a rabbit.
That's why I'm not doing it.
Oh, just careful because you're going to bonk your head on the edge of the plate beam there.
And as you can see, he covers her eyes to keep her calm.
Go on, mamas.
And of course, the fun ones you get to do.
Yeah, I get the fun ones. I get the babies. Yeah. Dear, you're okay. You're okay. You're okay. Yeah. You want to, Joshua, can you come and watch the door for the rest of the buns? And I'll get these over them there with Mama. There you go. There you go. I'm going to have to spend some more time handling these little babies. All right. So as you can see, we have powder all over this grow out cage. And what that is that's diatomaceous earth. And what we do is in between litters of rabbits, we dust these cages off really good with diatomaceous earth to help prevent like ear mites and things like that. The diatomaceous earth really helps with that.
And it's food grade.
It is food grade diatomaceous earth. But anyway, so this is where they are going to be for the next few weeks. And then we're going to have to start separating the boys from the girls and getting them in more individual cages. But I think they will be very happy for the next few weeks here in this larger area. And that's the diatomaceous earth that we use. We just dust the cages really well.
They come with a powdering unit in the bag. So this little unit right here actually comes with the bag. So you get the duster and everything right along with it.
I think I'm going to take them one at a time because
they're squirmy.
Yeah, I haven't worked with them a whole lot because Guinevere was kind of mad at me every time I got my hands in there. So they're kind of squirmy and scared. So I'm just going to take them one at a time. Yeah, little cutie patootie. But at 5 weeks old, that is that's a large rabbit. Look at that. That's a great growth rate actually. But it is scared. Its little heart is just a pumping. All right, we'll get you back in with Mama, okay? Hi, Gwen. Here.
They do make bigger feeders, as you can see that this one here. It's a much bigger feeder than just a single rabbit feeder. And this is much bigger, as you can see. This one we have to have two because this one is a bigger just because of all the babies. They're taking more food and more water at the time. The original bunnies, as you can see, one's drinking right there. Since they're using it, this one is a smaller feeder with a smaller bottle, so we have to move them because they need space and they need bigger equipment.
Get your little nosy out of there, honey. All right. You got him? All right, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll proceed to get Linda and her babies into the other side of that cage, and this also gives us a really good opportunity to take some time and clean the cage again. It's amazing, animals are messy. So that's where we're at this point in time with these batches of bunnies. They're growing great. They're looking healthy and strong and good. And we're just happy to get them into a little bit bigger space so that they can grow and be comfortable. All right, so here we are at 7 weeks growth with our bunnies, and we have decided to move moms out back into the moms' individual cages. Nobody was really nursing anymore. Moms had already decided I've had enough, and the babies were eating solid food and drinking out of the water bottle by themselves for quite a few weeks. And so when we moved them over here, we had them with moms for about a week, maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks, and then just decided that they were good enough to be on their own. They were adjusting to solid food. We didn't have any gut issues. A lot of times when that transition is made from nursing to eating the solid foods, sometimes you can have gut issues with your rabbits, and it's a real it's a careful transition that needs to be made. But all of the bunnies have just done absolutely amazingly well. Of course, I just go out into the yard and I find nice little sticks for the rabbits to chew on. That's, of course, a really important thing with rabbits. Rabbits' teeth are always growing, and so they constantly need to wear them down. And so I always have a lot of good things inside the cage for them to chew on their own. So what we're going to do at this point in time, then in another 2 weeks, it'll be time to separate all of these bunnies, Guinevere's bunnies and Linda's bunnies. We'll have to separate them by sex, boys and girls. Now the girls will remain together probably until the point that we either sell them or whatever else. And the boy bunnies will have to be separated in individual cages. Male rabbits will actually get hostile towards each other once they reach that teenage and that man stage, and they will actually castrate each other. And so we need to separate all of the male rabbits out into individual cages so that they don't cause each other damage or harm. So this is pretty much the end of the adventure of our little these batches of bunnies anyway. So we're just gonna continue to grow them out for quite a few more weeks, and when I know they're good and healthy and strong, I will probably list them for sale as pets. And if we don't sell them all for pets, then of course we're going to use them for nourishment ourselves. We'll look at Linda's here. And they're all looking well too. And the same plan, of course, for this batch of bunnies too. But they're all just absolutely beautiful and healthy and happy. And they have lots of nice stuff to chew on here inside their cage too. I found a little piece of raw 2x4 that didn't have any treatment on it, and a stick. They always like to chew, but just nice bunnies. I love the seal tip one. Such a pretty color. They're all really pretty colored bunnies. But anyway, so everybody's happy and healthy and growing well. And our mamas are a lot happier now that they're back on their own and they're not being bothered by all the kids. And there's, Copper, he's just so hot. It's so hot here right now.
94 degrees.
Yeah, it's hot. So we have to make sure that everybody has plenty of water, and it's kind of nice with these raised cages. They can kind of stretch out and get a little bit of breeze on their bellies too. So, but for the temperatures that we've been having, they're just looking great, quite honestly. So I guess that's the end of this particular bunny adventure, and until we, I guess, find some other things to introduce you to, we'll just call it good for now. God bless you all until we meet again.